You guys ready? All right. So I would like to call the meeting of November 14th, 2022 to order at 6 p.m. Commissioner Levine, would you lead us in the flag salute?
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Would you please do roll call?
Commissioner Hawks?
Here.
Commissioner Levine?
I'm here.
And Vice Chair Audi?
Here.
Okay, we have 3 present with 2 excused. That's Chair Sizemore and Commissioner Krastevsky.
We now have division reports. Do we have any public comments? I'm sorry.
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you. So we do have division reports, and our first division report is recreation from Matt Dobbins. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. Anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Matt Dobbins. I work in sports. I've been in the city for about 4 years and currently loving it. I guess we can start out today with aquatics. In October, we had a total of 3,571 impacted, reached, and that includes 1,266 participants in lap swim, 126 water exercise and master classes, and 7 lifeguard classes. The aquatics team recently got to visit the MRC pool construction site, which is creating a buzz and excitement around the future year-round aquatics facility. We recently shut down the splash pad, which will open back up after the season, which will be in March 2023. And then our American Red Cross courses, we had a total of seven students participate. The upcoming classes, or for the remainder of the 5 sessions, will be November, December, and January. As we all know, aquatics loves to be up to date with trainings and first aid and CPR. This month they focused on bandage and splints, as well as concussion protocols and writing accident and incident reports. The lead staff attended Drucker's leadership series hosted by CPRS, and they'll update the rest of the aquatic team this following month. And then we also had representatives from the CRC and the aquatics attend a CPRS mini conference, which Melissa Davis, our aquatic supervisor, presented on recruiting, hiring, and retaining entry-level staff. As far as contract classes, our winter-spring 2023 books have been are being mailed out to 42,000 households in Temecula. The registration for those classes and activities actually started this morning at 8 a.m. And we can also see those online at temeculaca.gov/TCSD. In October, we had a very wide variety of classes from arts like ballet, family music for babies, Get Smart with Art, and Hawaiian Tahitian dance, as well as things like sports with basketball, flag football, soccer, pickleball, and even yoga. On to the CRC. The CRC closed earlier last month for renovations, and that will last through May 2023. The construction begins next week on November 21st. As in the meantime, they've been packing and moving all the equipment into the gym as the primary storage. That CRC staff also got to go to the mini conference that was in Chino Hills to see Melissa Davis present on recruiting. For our Temecula Skate Park, the Scooter Jam was held this last Saturday. We partnered with groups like Neighborhood Drop-In, an action sports advocacy group, and Scooter Zone, and they helped donate prizes and giveaways for our event. Since the CRC's closed, the Teen Zone has had to bug out and move on. They're now operating at the skate park and the library. On Tuesdays, they're operating at the library from 2:30 to 6:30, and on Thursdays, the skate park, 2:30 to 5. Last month, they got to do a lot of Halloween activities, such as mummy cupcakes and even crafts like Halloween origami and building a mummy. They also have seasonal theme boxes that help the teens do crafts and activities at home, and those are just $10. As far as our homeless outreach, the Homeless Outreach Division began holding and reserving rooms at for bridge housing at Hotel Springs Motel in Lake Elsinore. And to the date, or year to date, they've helped 72 street exits. In October, there were 4. We have an example on these slides of 2 individuals that were helped to get back home from Temecula who were stranded here. One was a bus ride, and another one was an Uber, and the homeless outreach staff helped to secure those rides. And then also we had one male experiencing homelessness that has been working with SWAG, and he's received a housing voucher to go into that Hot Springs Motel in Lake Elsinore. In October, there were 10 illegal encampments identified, and 9 of them were removed according to the first week of November. On to the library. The library circulated almost a little over 50,000 items, and they had 19,000 at the door count. Some of the in-person programs that were held were the Harry Potter Trivia Night, which had 60 attendees. There were 28 story times, 14 family programs, and a candy corn count contest, all of which had about 2,000 attendees together. On to sports, my neck of the woods. All the local youth recognized sports leagues are coming to a conclusion at this month. Our non-recognized leagues and rental groups are at full capacity, and our adult softball and kickball leagues both end this month. We also have an adult softball tournament coming up, and the registration deadline is this coming week. We have a few tournaments for the remainder of this month with DC SoCal Youth Baseball, Triple Crown Sports Youth Baseball, and Just Want to Play Ball Youth Baseball. As far as special events impacted 7,915 people with events like the Ronald Reagan Sports Park concession stand ribbon cutting, which had 40 attendees, Halloween Carnival, which had 5,000 attendees, and a Halloween home bike tour, which had 75 registered attendees. We also had a patriotic salute to veterans, which had 200 attendees. As far as the picnic shelter rentals, we had 45 picnic shelter rentals, which service 2,600 patrons. A preview for upcoming months is our National Preparedness Fair, Christmas tree lighting at the pond, Santa's Electric Light Parade, and Holiday Home Bike Tour. Now for the theater. The theater started off the month with the tailor-made tapestry, which had 250 patrons. Actually, before we move on from this slide, let's stop with the attendance up here. We had almost 4,000 in attendance to the theater this past month, and we total outreach of 15,000. Moving on, we also had the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which had 10 shows with 1,325 attendees. We also had the Carrie musical, which had 9 shows and 366 attendees. There were also 3 shows from Temecula Presents, which were Ty Monet, Blake Pouliot, and Henry Kramer, and Sherry William. And those 3 shows had 365 attendees. We also had Motown Mania for the second time. They had 1 show, and that had 341 attendees. Showtime at the Merc continued with the Merc series. They had 17 shows, including jazz, country, speakeasy, Brazilian, Latin jazz, and stand-up comedy. Our Brazilian Latin jazz was featured Natalia Spadini, who's been singing since she's 14. Our stand-up comedian, which is in the next slide, thank you. Our stand-up comedian has been performing for over 20 years and seemed to be a big hit. And then for the first time, we presented Dracula at the Merc, which had 3 shows, and all 3 shows sold out. And last but not least, we have the parks. We had several projects at the parks this past month. We had the duck pond, which had the parking lot resealed and restriped. And we also had turf replacement at the duck pond, Serena Hills Park, and Riverton Park, where we nearly replaced 50,000 square feet of turf with California drought-friendly trees and shrubs. And those projects were funded by Metropolitan Water District. And that concludes the first section of the report. Do we have any questions?
I'm sure our commissioners may have some questions to throw your way or some comments. So Commissioner Dr. Hawks, please.
Thank you, Matt, for the report. Just a quick question. I look forward to the leisure guide for winter and spring. You said that we mailed out 40,000. Do you know when do we expect to receive them?
The book will hopefully be delivered to the post office on Wednesday.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get some on Friday, maybe at your house. But my guess is Friday, Saturday, maybe Monday next week. But they're coming, don't worry.
Okay. I thought I missed it.
Nope.
Good. Thank you.
Commissioner Levine.
Matt, excellent report out. Thank you. One question for you. CPRS, what does that stand for?
That would be California Parks and Recreation Society.
Of course it is. Thank you.
Super job, Matt. I really like the way you answered both questions. It's great to have that backup, as we said before.
Thank you.
No, really excellent report. Really appreciate it and the effort you put in. I wasn't going to make any comments, but as you go through this thing, just so many wonderful things stand out again. And I also attended some of the events at the theater, and just to see the diversity of events that you're putting on, it's just really spectacular. But thank you. I do have one short question. So I saw that the Teen Zone had moved to the library. What about some of the other programs? I'm thinking like adult sports that go on in the gym, for example. What are we doing? Are we just canceling until then, or do we have a place to go?
So for adult sports in the gym, we were operating an adult basketball league. We had 2 divisions, and that is going to be on a temporary pause until the gym opens back up. But in the meantime, we're doing bi-monthly tournaments. They're 3-on-3 tournaments at our Summers Bend Sports Park for those basketball players that still participate.
Great. That's creative way to keep them busy on that. Good job. Thank you. So we now have our next report coming from Daniel Morales for the Cultural Arts.
Hello and good evening, Commissioners. My name is Daniel Morales, and I work as the Archivist and Curator for the Temecula Valley Museum. Tonight, I will be reporting updates provided by the Arts and Culture team, Community Outreach, Inclusive Services, Senior Services, the Temecula Valley Museum, and Workforce Development in order to promote the good work being done by these facets of the city. Let's begin with Arts and Culture. The Temecula Museum's ACE team hosted both Art Off the Walls and the First Friday Gallery reception on October 7th. 13 artists held booths at Art Off the Walls, while the ACE team opened up a new gallery featuring the beautiful artwork of Natasha Ragland and the Mark. Snacks and refreshments were provided inside and outside to all guests, and entertainment was provided by Timmy D Productions with Martin Stamper performing outside and Michael S.G. performing inside. This free event welcomed a total of 175 attendees. As for the other galleries, the Rotunda Gallery at the Temecula Valley Museum was decorated with whimsical witches and bejeweled spiders to expand on last year's theme of Elegant Halloween, with help from the Temecula Valley Women's Club. The gallery at the Ronald H. Roberts Temecula Public Library features Leanne Sutherland with her California Coastal Collection Gallery, an appreciative look at our beautiful coastline shown in varying watercolor, pastel, and more. The last day to see her work is November 18th. Finally, the Civic Center Gallery was feline fine with a cool cat collection being displayed between September 12th and November 11th. Artist Don Roth's precise illustrations allow for detailed works that earned him the unofficial title of the Norman Rockwell of cats. Next slide, please. We're proud to report that after extensive time and effort, the Old Town Temecula Utility Box Art Project has been completed. With 24 beautiful pieces being displayed on 20 utility boxes, this is a monumental achievement by the Arts and Culture team. And thank you to the Special Events team for hosting the official ribbon cutting on October 26th, during which Assembly Member Kelly Ciarto presented a certificate of recognition to Mayor Pro Tem Zach Schwenk, and the chosen artists were provided posters in appreciation for their work. Next slide, please. October's social media impact was 99,723, an impressive amount stemming from the increase in projects and activities throughout the month. Events such as the Halloween Carnival provided plenty of material for 5 reels and a total of 31 stories, the latter of which gained over 20,000 views, doubling the previous record of 10,000. Additionally, the city's social pages continued their strong growth with an increase of 273 new followers. The community outreach team's social media campaign for the Path of Honor resulted in 42 new veteran paver applications being received, the highest number of pavers added in 1 year. To round it all out, the team is finalizing a special recap video to honor the new inductees, featuring a message from Executive Director Michael Berkhamshaw. And the recently released 20th episode of Park Adventures features Long Canyon Creek Park and has received over 1,000 views on our social media outlets. Followers can look forward to episode 21, featuring Pablo Apis Park, along with Around and About Temecula CRC renovations, releasing in November. For inclusive services, 120 participants attended the High Hopes Halloween event on October 21st at the Mary Phillips Senior Center. Activities included the Halloween parade and costume contest this year, judged by volunteers from the Youth Advisory Council, along with a special performance of DJ Jeff Waddleton and a dinner of Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches. Everyone had a great time dressing up and dancing to the music. And on October 12th, the Senior Center also hosted the Skip or Treat Halloween party, once again with help from the Youth Advisory Council. 29 attendees got to enjoy another round of Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, along with plenty of Halloween treats. Throughout the evening, the children enjoyed playing carnival games, doing sensory and Halloween-themed crafts, and of course, participating in the trick-or-treat through the halls. For the Youth Advisory Council, in addition to their help with the entertainment during the aforementioned events at the Senior Center, they kicked off the holiday food drive in partnership with the Temecula Teen Library Council. During regular meetings, they participated in an inclusive sensitivity training, and they also learned socioeconomic skills through an interactive game. YAC meetings are held every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Mary Phillips Senior Center. The Fall Global Citizens Viticulture and Horticulture Vocational Program session ended on October 20th after 6 successful weeks, closing out with a completion ceremony luncheon to celebrate the participants' dedication to the program. During their time, they attended resume building workshops, obtained their food handler's license, participated in conservation efforts with the river cats, gained hands-on experience in viticulture at Wilson Creek Winery, and so much more. Senior Services had plenty to report in October. The Veterans of Foreign Wars California Motorcycle Club, VFW, hosted the annual Columbus Day Spaghetti Lunch at the Mary Phillips Senior Center on October 10th. The VFW made homemade spaghetti with meatballs, breadsticks, salad, and dessert for our seniors to enjoy. Senior Services wants to thank the VFW for all that they do for our seniors. On October 18th, the Temecula Noon Rotary hosted a Halloween Rotary surprise at the Mary Phillips Senior Center. Seniors dressed up in their Halloween costumes and enjoyed Halloween trivia, prizes, treats, and more. Once again, a thank you to the Temecula Noon Rotary Club for hosting this fun event. Senior Services took an excursion to Bates Nut Farm via the Human Services Shuttle on October 17th. 25 seniors attended the excursion to enjoy the festivities of the farm, which included a hayride, a petting zoo, and a pumpkin patch where they picked pumpkins of their own to take home. It was a great day for getting into the fall spirit. The Mary Phillips Senior Center held a fun, spooky Halloween party for their monthly event. The party began with a performance by the Senior Center Choir, followed by a delicious appetizer of pumpkin chili prepared by staff member Cecilia Solis. After an electrifying dance performance of Thriller by staff member Jordan Wilson, the event was rounded out with a Halloween costume contest. A big thank you to the TCSD Superintendent Barnett for attending and making the event even more special. The Senior Center also continued being a designated school center during the summer for anyone in need of temporary relief from the heat. During the month of October, the Cool Center hosted 132 participants, totaling out at 1,625 participants this Cool Center season. Okay, the Temecula Valley Museum hosted 1,709 patrons the month of October, a total increase of 14.7%. This growth was aided by out-of-town guests, in-person programming events, and school tours, the latter of which are heavily booked in November, so even higher attendance is expected. The currently displayed exhibit is Ancestry and Animals, the Art of Hajime Ono, which features the fine art of Hajime Ono, a native of Hokkaido, Japan, who studied in the United States during the 1980s. He finds inspiration in his Japanese heritage and in the beauty and resilience of animals. On October 26th, Mr. Ono visited the museum with a group of fellow members of his temple, with whom he shared stories of family members and further described his inspirations for his work. The museum is tasked with not only providing fun and informative experiences to our guests, but also maintaining the history of the region through the accessioning and preservation of donations received by members of our community. As the archivist for the museum, I wanted to provide a brief curator's report to highlight some of the recent additions to our collections that have kept us busy. Back in September, a collection of paintings created by local artist Kathy Ross was donated to the Temecula Valley Museum by her daughter, Sharon Ross. Her art career spanned decades and took place in numerous locations, including Temecula, and her portfolio gathered her many awards from a variety of associations and societies across the country. The paintings will be displayed in a future exhibition. And in late October, employees traveled to Ventura for a donation from the bookstore Bank of Books. The donation included the law library of then-attorney Earl Stanley Gardner, whose Ventura office was the birthplace of the first drafts of his Perry Mason series, which he would continue writing in Temecula. Museum employees picked up a total of nearly 40 boxes of items, which will provide plenty of work for the accessioning team. And returning to events, Egypt was the highlighted country for October's second Saturday event. 130 guests were able to participate in Egyptian storytelling and songs presented by Ken Frawley from Dream Shapers. Other highlights included games, crafts, a scavenger hunt, an art class hosted by Bigfoot Art Classes, and refreshments provided by Mr. Kebab Fresh Mediterranean Grill. We greatly appreciate and thank TCSD Commissioner Dr. Yuan Hawks, who generously volunteered her time serving food. Thank you. Sam Hicks Monument Park also offered the biannual Arts and Crafts Bazaar organized by the Temecula Valley Museum, Inc. Board of Directors. Over 40 vendors offered a variety of arts and crafts products. The event was very well received, with everyone enjoying the new positive ambience of the park and playground. Starting in December, museum guests can view artwork included in this year's cultural exchange between artists from Temecula and Temecula's sister city of Daisen, Japan. The artwork includes two traditional Japanese art forms, itagami and shigiri-e. Please look forward to viewing this exhibit once the current one concludes. In celebration of Native American Heritage Month, the November art mural was created by Pechanga Chamikilawish school students, tentatively scheduled to be unveiled on November 16th at 5 p.m. The name of the mural is Grandpa's Wisdom and represents the Luiseno people, culture, and life. Every December, our second Saturday event highlights the Christmas season, featuring all cultures celebrated throughout 2022 and their holiday traditions. This year, we will be celebrating the event on December 10th at 11 a.m., where guests will be able to experience a variety of cultural food, music, and creative art activities provided by Bigfoot Art Classes. And finally, like the aforementioned event, December's mural will feature a representation of all countries celebrated at this year's second Saturday cultural celebrations. The mural was outlined by Tony Moore Marco of Bigfoot Art Classes and has begun being painted by the public during our most recent Art Off the Walls and second Saturday events. Next slide, please. The Workforce Development Team had an impact of 203 participants this month. The Youth Innovators Program had 3 meetings in October, averaging at 13 high school students per meeting. These members facilitate numerous youth programs and events, including the Junior STEM Program, the Young Women's Career Conference, Rocktober, a variety of fairs, and much more. On October 5th, the Junior STEM Program hosted their second meeting of the year. The Youth Innovators helped 18 middle school students learn architectural concepts through presentations, demonstrations, and hands-on activities. Next slide, please. The Temecula Conference Center hosted the Medical Career Fair on October 19th, with 13 vendors presenting to 40 visitors in hopes of retaining the medical residents that are trained in the Temecula Valley, along with providing care for the community. A total of 21 high school and middle school students had the opportunity to perform their music to a live audience during the Youth Innovators Rocktober, which took place on October 22nd. 98 viewers attended and enjoyed the shows, games, raffles, and pizza. Their prizes included gift bags and even a recording session with a local recording studio. This concludes our full report. Please feel free to follow up with any questions regarding the presented information.
Thanks, Daniel. Commissioner Levine, any questions or comments?
Daniel, appreciate the report. No questions. Well done.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dr. Hawks.
Thank you, Daniel, for the thorough report. I really appreciate all the different events that community services are putting together, and I look forward to many more.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel, for the thorough report. No questions, just a comment. Again, was able to attend the utility box ribbon cutting. What a wonderful event that was, and really highlighted a fantastic program we have to get some public art going. So really appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you.
So that concludes our division reports. And coming up next is approval of item 1, approval of our minutes from October 10th, 2022. So the recommendation is that the commission approve the action minutes of October 10th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
I move.
I have a motion, second.
Vice Chair Adi, Commissioner Levine was not present at our last meeting, so yeah, we'll have to move that. We'll actually have to move the action minutes to next month when we have more commissioners present.
I stand corrected, then we will move away from item 1.
That was a tricky one for me as well.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to Director's Report. Hi, Director.
Hi there, good evening. Nothing particular to report right now, except that we are gearing up for the holiday season. We're super excited about that. And one other exciting addition to the TCSD family, you may be familiar with the Visit Temecula Valley storefront out front. They're vacating that space, so they have their offices on the second floor, but they're going to be vacating the ground level storefront. So Dawn and her team are going to be taking that over and turning it into a welcome center. So we're very excited. We're hoping to have that open as a soft open on December 1st. And basically that will be available with anything you might want to do at a recreation center in terms of getting information or registering for classes, you'll be able to do there. And then we'll also have information about city events, other institutions in the city for people who might be looking to relocate to the area. We'll keep the visitor center information as well, so if tourists stop in, they'll be able to access that. So our goal is just to make it a very welcoming, convenient, you can walk right in off of Front Street, right off of Mercedes. You can walk right in off the street and just get whatever information you might need. And then when we have events in Old Town, we can use that as our command center for our staff as well. So Dawn, is there anything you'd like to add to that? So that's our big news, so we're very excited about that.
Thank you, Director Russo. That is great news. Thanks for bringing that to us tonight. We really look forward to seeing that. That's going to be special.
Vice Chair, I'd like to acknowledge our staff that's here tonight, Sergio Raya and Isabel Argalera. They are here supporting their staff who are reporting perfectly tonight. And I also want to mention that the Guide to Leisure Activities is available online, so if you want to take a sneak peek, you can view it there. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, welcome, Sergio and Isabella. Your staff did fantastic tonight. Thanks for bringing them. Up next is Commissioner reports, and we will start those with Commissioner Dr. Hawks.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I have 2 items to report. I attended the Art of the Wall a week ago. That's my first time. I'm really excited to meet all the local artists and seeing the plein air competition for the first time. Just seeing what a great opportunity for our local artists to go into the wineries or just right here in front of the city hall to paint. And I talked to some artists. Maybe I found a future artist who will attend next year. So that was really exciting. And also, I love the idea of a street piano. So I made sure I was there for the debut. And I enjoyed playing on that piano for a couple of songs. So I thought that was a great addition to our old town and for our community and for the visitors who come here, just another fun items for them. And that's all.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. And yeah, that piano scared me away. So although I wish I was here to hear you play, thank you for bringing that. That is a cool idea. That piano really was. Commissioner Levine.
Thank you, Vice Chair. As for myself, I missed the patriotic salute to veterans, but I trust that it was just as fun. Maybe a little chillier this year. Yeah. So maybe I don't regret too much that I wasn't able to. No kidding. It's a great event, and I think I've been to all of them in the past except for this year. So Halloween Carnival was awesome. It's great to see everybody out there dressed up. Last year, did we have more street vendors or like food vendors? We didn't have any.
So last year we did have 2 food vendors. This year we only had 1 because we had some cancellations. Last year we also did more of the merchant trick or treat. Some of them had like participated, so we would have them listed on the map. This year was kind of not as advertised as last year, so that kind of took a step back. We did actually this year. Well, we technically, sorry to backtrack. We had 1 food vendor here at City Hall, and we did have Kona Ice with their shaved ice truck down at the museum. Last year, we just had 2 food vendors right in front of City Hall. So next year, we're definitely looking to increase more food vendors, although our vendor this year definitely didn't mind the extra foot traffic. They were happy with the with being our prime food vendor.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thanks for that, Tracy. Yeah, but the Carnival is always such a great event. It was so nice to see, families out and about, and fun to participate in that as well as the concession stand. I forgot about that. But it was nice to be able to get out. I didn't know what to expect when I got there, and once again, even for a concession stand, which doesn't seem like it's like that big of a deal, you guys made it like a really special event, and it was fun. It had a whole baseball theme, and I appreciated it.
Let's not forget the golden plungers.
And the golden plungers.
It was a stroke of genius. It was really impressive.
Yeah, so they opened, it was a concession stand, and there's 3 individual restrooms, right? And so instead of the golden shovels, they had the golden plungers. Thanks to Stacy Fox, right? Yeah, just outstanding. So nothing else to report. Looking forward to the Christmas tree lighting. I will miss the parade this year because I'm going to be out of town. Once again, the first time ever. But yeah. But I'll be thinking about you.
Well, we'll be thinking about you too, as long as we're not having to think about anything else with the parade. We will miss you though.
Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thanks, Chair Levine. I really don't have anything. I mean, I will say, again, mirror what Chair Levine said about the Halloween Carnival. It's just awesome down here at the park down here, and I really love that event. It's just a lot of fun. And again, as we always say, you guys just do some just fantastic work. Your staff is just unbelievable. you know, on behalf of the commission, please keep plugging away and getting done what you're getting done, because it's just really what our community is all about. And it's just been another fun year coming out of the years we had, and more fun to come. So thank you for that.
Thank you, and we really do believe that community services is the heart of the community, so we appreciate everything you do to support everything we do, and it's a great team, and we have a great mission, and we all really love what we do. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, just to remind everybody, the appointments for your next two commissioners will be at the November 29th council meeting. So as you know, you'll have two vacancies. Commissioner Levine, we're very sad to see you go, and Commissioner Kristevsky, we will be bidding him farewell as well. We got, I believe, 9 applicants, and we went through that, and there were a couple of there were probably over half of them stood out as being very, very qualified. So we're really excited to see what the council decides.
That's wonderful.
So that'll be November 29th.
Yeah, that I know makes Commissioner Levine feel a little bit better. That his chair will be taken care of. So with that, we are going to set a record maybe for the year at least, and look to adjourn this meeting.